And as promised, coming back to news on Libya, the UN Security Council has just backed a no-fly resolution on Libya and any military measures short of a ground invasion to protect the civilian population. The vote was passed 10-0, with Russia, Brazil, China, Germany, and India, however, abstaining. RT's Marina Portnaya is in New York for us with the absolute latest. Now, hello, Marina. If you wouldn't mind giving us a breakdown, how exactly did the voting go?
Well, as you mentioned when introducing the story, this vote happened a lot quicker than most of us journalists actually even anticipated. It took place in under an hour, and 10 of the Security Council members voted to support this resolution, and 5 of the countries abstained. It's the BRIC countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and Germany. Now, this resolution does call for an immediate ceasefire in Libya, also implements the authorization of a no-fly zone over Libya, and it also authorizes the countries to act unilaterally and take all necessary means to protect civilians in Libya from any of the unrest that's been escalating over the past month, that we've seen the violence that's been building up between the rebels and the supporters of the Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. So what can happen remains to be seen, but it is quite interesting that the Security Council did act so quickly, and that the words all necessary means are in this resolution, because that gives countries a lot of room in the way in which they decide to act when it comes to quelling all the uprising in Libya.
Now, Marina, real quickly, it was a close call. About 10 countries out of the 15 did vote yes. There were no countries against, and no one used their veto, as Russia had talked about doing earlier. Why did Russia and other countries abstain? Do we know that?
That's right. Russia and China, well, they're the veto-wielding members that abstained within the Security Council. And I think, the reason that they were hesitant to begin with, what we've heard Russia, China, and other countries say, is that they didn't want to take any means that would indicate military intervention in Libya. They wanted to take more diplomatic approaches, slower steps, because in effect, some experts believe that any military intervention adding to the violence and conflict that's already ongoing in Libya can exacerbate the problem and make it much, much worse. But at the same time, the international community, Russia, China, Brazil, India, Germany, they understand their countries. They don't want to stand aside while the international community is trying to stop this violence. And I think that's where the abstention came from. They try to remain in their position, the position that they've had this entire time. They don't want to block the international community from acting if this action will in fact stop the conflict and the violence that's uprising in Libya.
So now that the resolution has been adopted, what can we expect next from the international community, and how quickly can we see some military intervention?
Well, I could tell you this, France's foreign minister, who came here to New York for the Security Council meeting, told the journalists that France is prepared to act immediately. It's also been reported by many of the U.S. media outlets that the U.S. Pentagon has also been preparing. Britain is one of the countries that co-drafted this resolution and has been making statements that it is prepared already to go into the airspace of Libya and maybe take other means, because this resolution says all means necessary. So we can anticipate that those Western countries will be among the ones to act first. What will come out of it is unclear, but this is quite a development coming out of the United Nations here in New York, that a no-fly zone over Libya has been approved, and the international community is allowed to use all means necessary to quell the violence and conflict in Libya.
All right. Thank you, Marina, for staying on top of this story for us. Marina Portnaya reporting from New York.